It's a brand new day. Hey. Wake up every morning and say, it's a brand new day. Hey. Take a good day, make it great, okay? 'Cause if you got some lemons, make some
Hello, and
lemonade.
welcome
Yeah,
to Women
taste
Never
so
Gonna Be
good
Well,
away.
where
It's a
we
brand
inspire
new
women
day.
as well as inspire women to be healthy, wealthy, and whole. I'm your host, Kathy.
And I'm Shamila.
Hey, Shamila, how are you today?
Hey, Kathy. How are you? I'm good.
I'm doing well today.
You look cute. I like your hair like that.
Thank you. I just threw it up. I was wearing it down, but
Mm-hmm.
I decided to throw it up in a little bun.
That's cute. And your locks are getting long.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we have a tip in here. We have a couple in here. It's getting big now.
We got more than one this time.
It says, engage in a brief act of kindness towards yourself and others. And that's from you, Kathy.
Oh, my tip got pulled out. I think that's a good tip, at least for tip of the day, because you do want to do kind acts for people, and you also want to be kind to yourself. What I mean by being kind to yourself is taking care of your mental health, your whole body health, you know.
Yep, that's good. You know I'm all about that.
I know.
And I just feel like even smiling at someone, saying hi, anything like that will brighten their day. You never know what
Yeah.
people go through.
That's right.
I was on another show and one of the hosts was saying that he went to McDonald's and I guess the woman gave him attitude and like cut him off, like that was taking his order. And then he was like, yeah, I went and got the manager. And everybody else was like, well, why? And he was like, you see how rude she was? But I'm like, there's no excuse to be rude to anybody.
That's right.
But sometimes you really don't know what people are going through at that time.
That's true.
And so I always try to give people grace, a little bit of grace, because like I said, there's no excuse to be rude. But you just never know.
Right.
You just never know.
Right. And just giving somebody a smile, like when you get up in the morning and you're out and about and you see people and you say, hi, how are you? How's your day? And smile at them, that means a lot to somebody.
Yeah, when I go somewhere, someone smiles and say, how are you doing? Or hold the door open for me. It just makes you feel good. Like someone actually cared enough to do something like that for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because some people will let the door close on you.
Oh,
Don't care.
God. Some
I mean,
people
that
run
happens
you
every
over
so often. Yeah.
trying to get through the door.
Run you off the road. They don't care, They just, some people are in a rush. And that's another thing. You don't know if it's, some people are in a rush and it may come off wrong. And so they cut you off, they do something. And sometimes they'll realize something later. Like, have you ever done something and then like a couple of minutes go by and you're like, oh, shoot, what did I just do?
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I'm like, I need to be more, like, I'm already like self-aware, but when it comes to certain things, I think I need to be more aware.
Right.
Because you never know.
And sometimes you be in your thoughts. I know the other day I was kind of thinking of something and I'm just driving and I did look both ways and I turned down and all of a sudden this car to my bump. I was like, where'd that car come from?
Dang,
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Well, like, have you ever driven somewhere and then you were like, I don't know, daydreaming the whole time? Then when you got there, you were like, wait, I don't remember certain parts of this drive.
Right. I didn't pass my exit sometime. I be so in my thoughts.
Yeah, last time I did that, it was scary. I'm like, I need to stop. Because, like, what if someone just comes and I'm not even paying attention?
Yeah. Yep. That's interesting, though, that we be so into our thoughts and allow things like that to happen. So taking care of ourselves, we need to start being more aware.
More aware, more self-aware, mentally aware. Like, really just, a lot of times, especially if I'm thinking negative things, I start to talk to myself in my head. Like, oh, no, Shamila, you need to stop. Stop. And then you're trying to get all that, starting to get all the positive stuff back. Like, I'm trying to do that, really train my mind to really keep thinking positive and not negative, because, man, especially like all the stuff I'm going through now, it's easy to get sucked back into that negative moment and thinking like, oh, what am I going to do? And just worried about things where, I have to go back in and talk to myself like, Shamila, you got this. You always got it. You can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So anything been happening with you that you want to talk about?
With me?
Share.
I mean, a lot. I don't know if I want to talk about it now. But, well, Actually, there has been some things going on. So, I hosted a couple of events. I hosted an event for, it's a foundation called Honey Drop, and it's abuse against men.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so it was really nice. And I'm like, I want to get more involved with things like that because, we speak about women stuff because we're women. We know women.
That's a subject people don't talk about.
We know women, but when it comes to men, not a lot of men advocate for other men, for one, and then not a lot of women advocate for men. And so for me, I'm really trying to get into this because I've always been thinking about it. And ever since I did the panel and I hosted the fashion show, I should have said that. But ever since then, it like lit this fire under me. I'm like, I want to do more things when it comes to men because I always thought like, well, I'm not a man, so I can't throw these events. But I was a host of that show, and it looked good having a woman to be a host. Yeah, and it's good for other women to kind of see and really see what men go through. Yeah. And it maybe it'll help us be a little softer towards men. Right. Because society is telling us what we are supposed to do or how we're supposed to treat people or how men are supposed to be, how women are supposed to be. But that is society telling us that. And they don't tell us the right thing. It's
and a program to men feel like they're supposed to be hard all the time. Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah. And that's, I want to say society, but it's like a programming to where they want everyone to, kind of act the same, be the same way. And it doesn't work. And that's why a lot of people fight against it or they feel depressed or they feel a certain way because they're not in the right element or they're not vibrating the way they should be because everyone's not the same.
Right. God made us individual.
Exactly. So, and so when it comes to men and, instead of a man really saying, well, this is how I feel, and they're telling us something, you have someone telling us all men are like this. Right. Or all men should be like this. And that's unfair.
It is.
And so I'm like, I really want to get involved with this, especially when it comes to young guys. They see all this stuff growing up because, we see men as leaders and, and we want them to lead, but then sometimes they don't really know what to do, especially at a young age. And they're like, well, I'm supposed to be this way, I'm supposed to be that way, and it's not working. Especially if they weren't raised
with a man to teach them how to lead. Yeah. So that's important.
Yeah. So it'd be good to get, I'm already working with someone right now about with it. And so, it's just good to get men together and they see another man who really kind of has it together. He's been through some stuff, working on himself, and they see how he's emotional, intelligent, and just all intelligent and then well put together, and just a good person all the way around. And so they get to see that and really just be like, you know what, I can do it too.
If he's been through something and he's got through it, he can kind of share his experience of how he got through it. So
and that person is Miles.
Oh, okay, Miles.
No, we've been thinking about No, Miles was in. Yeah, Miles. He was in the fashion show. So he walked in the fashion show.
I know he was looking sharp.
He was. He had his cape on, everything, his hats.
What?
And so what really pushed me to it is me hearing things about him. Like I wasn't in the back with everyone. But one of my friends, she helps us out, and she said, you know what, he is a really good person. Shamila, he is such a good person. He was back there, pumping all the guys up because a lot of them were nervous. And I seen one of the guys too, like when Miles was walking, and he's looking at him. He was younger guy, and he was like, yeah, I want to be like that. I want to do more like that. So I'm like, people need examples. It doesn't matter if you're an adult. He was probably like maybe late 20s, early 30s, a grown man, but still see another man and say, you know what, he's giving me confidence to do something. And I was like, man, this right here,
beautiful
something, thing. Yeah. And then we had speakers there we talked about financial wellness within men, like all that stuff was good. Like people don't understand when it comes to certain things that men have to deal with, and we think, oh, you're a man, you can make this work. Some of them don't know where to start. And that's okay, but we should have resources for men. People in general. But when it comes to men, because there's a lot of women stuff. We always women groups we get together. I seen the comedian talk about that. Like y'all just get together, let's go wine tasting, let's go this, let's just get together, we'll go pack our bags and go. And we do that. We do a lot of stuff for women, but when it comes to men, it's like, oh, we can't talk about our feelings. That's a little sassier. That's the new word now is like sassy. Everyone want to call a man sassy once he talks about his feelings. I'm like, you can't. So we can't create hardness in people. We have to be, and that goes back to, the tip of the day. That's showing kindness to people.
Yes.
Like we create, and not to say it's one person's fault because everyone's responsible for themselves, but you can help create hardness in somebody, just by the way you talk to them, by the way you treat them. So it's always important to show kindness every day, and also to yourself, because you can also soften yourself once you start to really work on yourself and realize, you need to unlearn some things and and learn some things. And so soften yourself up. You soften other people up. Just open your heart up for more love on each other. That's all.
Definitely.
That's
I
all. It's
know
not that
along
hard.
the way, I learned that I needed to soften up back in the day, just being kind of tough and kind of hard on myself. And so as I got older, I learned to kind of soften up. And
it's just easier. It's easier to go by through the day. Like you just feel more relaxed. You can really talk to people. People can come to you and talk to you because they don't feel like you're so guarded or so hard. Like as soon as you say something, you're kind of going at it the wrong way.
Or even a look on your face can deter people to come and even approach you.
I still got to work on that. Because I'll be like, people like, are you okay?
That was the look I used to have. I think I've gotten a lot better. I know a guy told me years ago, we were in church, and he was in the choir, and he said, I used to be looking at you like, dang, should I approach her? Because she looked mean. Yeah. I was like, was I looking that mean? He was like,
People used to tell me that. It was like, and guys will say, I was afraid of you at first. I'm like, dang, was I looking that mean?
I know.
Come on. This one guy, he came up to me, and I couldn't even be mad. He kissed me on my forehead. He said, it's going to be okay. And then walked away. And I was like, okay. You cute, so I'll let you do that. But don't do it again. Nah.
Exactly.
Well, we have a really special guest. All our guests are special.
Yes, they are.
But we have a special guest coming up, Teresa. And she's going to talk to us all about her life, her books, and everything she got going. She got like 15 books out right now. No, I'm just kidding. She got
almost. She halfway there.
She got. If you are a reader, you would definitely appreciate this because I know I will. So we'll be right back.
Wake up every morning and say it's a brand new day. Take a good day, make it great, okay? 'Cause if you got
We're back.
some lemonade,
We're back with our guest today, Miss Teresa Tarpley. Teresa is an evangelist who is the CEO and founder of Hurt, Broken, Now Healed, and Delivered Ministries. She does many motivational speaking engagements there. She's a stage play executive producer, actress, and she's an author of 6 and more books to come. Teresa, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Oh,
Thank you
you're
for
so
coming.
Welcome. Thank you.
Welcome.
I see you got your books sitting here.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
You are a very interesting person. You have a lot
Thank
going
you.
on. And
Thank
I love
you.
that. And what I want to know is, how do you make the time to do everything that you do?
Well, I'm gonna go start with the books.
Mm-hmm.
When I was working at a nursing home and I was working on night shift, and God just told me to start journaling. And then I got introduced to a cousin that write books and stuff, and she kind of coached me on. And then I got introduced to my publisher, and I just started journaling. And every time I go somewhere, I take sticky notes with me and just jot stuff down so I won't forget it. And then that way I have it to, put into my journaling and stuff when I get the writing.
Well, I love that. I have a stack of sticky notes that
Yes.
I have them at work.
They like this, piled up. I love it. So how many books have you written so far?
6.
Can you tell us a little bit about your books, what they're
You
about?
can give us a brief description.
Yes, my first book is called Heartbroken, Now Healed and Delivered Ministries. It's about me, how my mom and dad treated me. I was a young girl that suffered from depression. My brother got murdered behind weed papers. My mom caused division between me and my brother that's living now because she was married to his dad. Now my dad My mom went through domestic violence. I've been gang raped, bullied, hit by a car, locked in the trunk of a car, homeowner, homeless. I used to be on crack cocaine. I had a baby born addicted to crack cocaine. September the 19th, I've been clean from crack 30 years.
Wow.
Yes.
What a blessing.
And everybody always asks me, why is you working and you got all this acting and writing books and stuff going on? I'm not just stuff for the money. Jesus wasn't inside the four walls. He was outside.
Okay, well, tell us when you say working, what do you mean?
I work where I was admitted at the hospital.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
He
Okay.
sent me back there because he's letting his light shine through me to draw close to other people. Just like working in nursing homes. A person think a person could get Alzheimer's and dementia due to that age. No. Drugs, alcohol, cigarettes,
Yeah.
stress, depression. It's brain poisoning. There are children in nursing homes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You're
Yeah,
right.
that's true. I think they were saying about Wendy Williams, what she's going through because of drinking.
Oh.
But yeah, so tell us more about your other books.
This one, my second book is called Why Y'all Treat Me So Bad. It's talking about generational curses. When my dad was alive, he always told me he had 17 kids, but I didn't believe him. And when I found that I had a brother, it hurted me. And God exposed, he has a way of exposing to you what's inside of you. I didn't know that I still had hatred and unforgiveness toward my dad. I thought I had let it go, but I really did. And the enemy was trying to tell me, why don't you just go on and kill yourself? Don't nobody love you. And I was having suicide thoughts, thinking about just driving off the bridge. And no, and I didn't. One lady tried to tell me suicide, seeking counseling is weak. No, there's nothing weak about seeking counseling. If you
We
need
agree
it,
Yes.
with that.
get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's talking about generational curses. The spirits that was in my parents fell off into me, like lusting, adulteress, and all that stuff. It fell into me. And not only that, being a people pleaser. Being a people pleaser is worse than being addicted to drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes, because you're going off of what people say about you, and you'll miss what God have for you. You know, like some people say, every man the same, every woman the same. How do you know if you never been with them all?
That's right. That's right.
That's true.
So, your inspiration came from all the things that happened to you in your life? in writing your book?
Yes,
Wow.
yes,
You've been through a lot.
yes. I have, and I thank God for deliverance.
Wow. Did you find it hard or therapeutic to write these books to write these books?
Well, actually, even after I had been clean, because drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes, it was a normal. It covered up a lot of hurt and pain from what I went through. But when I began to write, stuff started hitting my mind, and it was just in me. And that journaling, writing stuff down, I began to purge stuff out. It's really good therapy.
Yeah. Like everything starts to come up. It's kind of like unpeeling that onion.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like I had a lot of mold and mildew
Oh,
buried
yeah.
inside of me, and I had to be cleansed.
Wow. So what was your turning point to where you were like, you know what, I have to change my life and I have to turn my life around?
Well, when I was on drugs, I used to always, when I was in a rehab center, I would always say, I ain't coming back. It seemed like, and then that last time I went to go get high, and my mom and my brother and them came to the drug house where I was, and my mom said, I know what you out here doing, but I wish you had enough respect to come home and get your kids. I want to go to church on Sundays. And so then I went home and I was crying, and this one lady that I met in Narcotics Anonymous, she said, baby, if you're really sincere about not getting high no more, take your bath and eat you something. Get down on your knees and tell God you want to surrender, but you don't know how. And I said that prayer, and I never went back. And another thing is that I'm bringing this up. Every time that I used to always get ready to go get high, there was a lady that always stopped me and say, can I pray for you? I'm like, oh, Lord, here she go with that prayer stuff. I don't want to hear that. Prayer don't help. If prayer worked, why was I still getting high? Prayer worked, why did my brother get murdered behind weed papers? It seemed like God didn't hear me. But she prayed. She told me, she said, if you really sincere not about getting high no more, take this prayer cloth and put it on you. No, she said, take this prayer cloth and put it on you. And I took the prayer cloth and put it on me. When I got to the dope house, I couldn't even enjoy my high. I was like skissing real bad. This cup prayer really works.
Wow.
And I always think
You were
about
being
this.
convicted.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I tell people this all the time. You think about the worst thing you think you've been through in life.
Mm-hmm.
If God brought you out of that, this situation ain't nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Bible even say you got to speak those things which be not as though they are. Even when I was in a drug rehab center, and I be like, I ain't going to get high no more, I ain't going to get high no more. I was in that drug rehab center over 15 times in 1 year.
Wow.
As soon as I get out, I go right back. As soon as I get out, I go right back. Just right back,
Wow.
back to back, back to back.
Were you admitting yourself in the rehab center?
Yes, I was.
Oh, okay.
And how
I
long
mean,
would you
that-
stay?
For it's like when you go to a detox center, you can stay there for maybe like a week or 2 weeks, and then you can get admitted for like in a regular rehab center for like 30 days. Some rehab centers will accept me, some wouldn't accept me.
Wow.
And so, but after that last time, I was like, nobody never called me when I was in the streets, asked me if I wanted to get high. So when I was out there, everybody, when I got clean 30 days, everybody was calling me, Teresa, you want to get high? You want to date? No. 60 days. Teresa, you want to get high? You want to date? No. 90 days. Teresa, you want to get high? You want to date? No. And I never went back. I enrolled in Beauty and Barber College, and I did that, and I was going to NA meetings every day, and just finding positive over the negative.
Mm-hmm. Something else under your belt. You went to barber college too, huh?
Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah, you
And
done
I
done about everything.
I put
Jack of
positive
all
on it.
trades.
I put
But that's good though.
It
You need to
is.
get all those things under your belt, especially like I feel like you need to experience life, experience everything.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, just do it.
yes.
What would you change or add to when it comes to the rehab center? Like some of the things that you were saying, like okay, well you get to detox for a week, and some centers you can get into, some you can't. What would
And then
you
she kept going
change
back. Yeah.
in order to make it better,
Yeah.
as far as like the rehab center itself?
Well, actually, a lot of them, they be overbooked. They don't have a place, room and everything for them to go. But what I would do is that I would let them stay there. And it's funny because I'm opening up a transition home. I have my nonprofit. It's called I Am Delivered Transitional Housing for Women. And I want to teach them how to, even though a person is in a rehab center and stuff, continue to put positive over them. Teach them how to get jobs and stuff and be more productive members of society. And if they don't have nowhere to stay, help them get housing or teach them how to do positive, because it's a lot of things out here, and even with my ministry, I host job fairs for people without criminal backgrounds, because I like to see people do positive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard. I feel like when they're transitioning out of that moment of getting sober, a lot of people go back because they go back to the same environment, or they have
do.
nothing else to do.
Because that's what they used to. They used to that comfort zone. Because back when I was getting high, everybody would be like, once a dope fiend, always a dope fiend. Lies.
Wow.
Because I'm clean. And I like to encourage other people. If God did it for me, he can do it for you.
But you have to stay away from the environment that keeps
Yeah.
drawing you back in. That's the key as well.
Yes. And you know what? It's funny that you said that, because when I was going to NA meetings, they would always say, I heard somebody say, I don't care what nobody do on the outside, as long as it don't come on the inside. And when I got clean, there was 2 drug houses. I was living between 2 drug houses. And I didn't care what they was doing. I wasn't going to do it.
That's
That's
good.
that strong will. I know.
Yeah.
That's good. And then, so your books, is it like step by step, like kind of what you went through?
Yes. All of these books are about my life stories. This book, my 3rd book, Mother of Inmates, it's talking about how mama always complaining about one child going to juvenile jail or prison. Mama don't want to go to work every day. I mean, when mama go to work every day, she get paid, she got a man. But when the money gone, the man is gone, the lights is off, ain't no food in the house for the kids. And it's talking about the kids go to school every day, they see their friends looking good, nice hairdos, nice haircuts, and they see the dude driving big fine fancy cars and got all this big money, how he hustling got a good reputation in the streets, and that make the kids want to do wrong. So, mama, why you judging your kids? Check yourself.
For real.
And then, you know, back in the day, a lot of people would always say, well, if you know, you be there for a man when he go to prison, he'll love you. He'll know how to make you happy and this and that. And then, you know, another thing that I learned is that there are a lot of people who are losing their family members and children. And it hurts to be a mother of inmates. It really does. But one thing I can say, at least you can hear your children's voice, because a lot of people can't. And God be putting them in places for protection, because He has a calling on their life that they can't see.
Wow. Yeah. I like that one. So this next one, withdrawals.
Withdrawals.
Yeah.
It's talking about how a person go through withdrawals from drugs, alcohol, cigarettes. No. You go through withdrawals from hurt from your past. You go through withdrawals from old relationships. I mean, you think you done got over a person. No. Sometimes you still have love in your heart towards your past, and you got to let that go. You got to be delivered. You got to get all this stuff purged out of you, so that you can receive what God got for you. It used to be a time I'd be like, why everybody else is married and that, and what's the use of me praying, God? Because God be exposing, you still got a lot of junk in you, and where He taking you, this can't go.
That's true. That is
real
so
talk.
True. I like that, because I'm like, there's always a reason for something, and we always trying to compare our life to other people. Why this and that. And I was like that. Like in my 20s, I thought I was gonna be married and all this. And then I'm like, you know, I'm kind of glad I didn't, because if I did, I would have probably married the wrong person. You know, so it's just like, you know, you just have to be grateful for where you're at.
I've been married twice. So what's your next book?
Everything's out in the open. It's talking about the importance of knowing your family, who you're related to, and everything. I've always been told my mama didn't know who my daddy was. And I took a DNA test with a cousin that I met a couple of years ago in California, and it actually shows that he is my biological father. I'm on an ancestry tree, and anytime I see somebody on social media or anything, and then it might be their birthday and stuff, and then another family member might come in and say, hey, happy birthday, and I let them know, hey, that's your cousin. I tell everybody who we're related to, because it's important, because there's so many deep, dark secrets in families. A lot of people be like, what goes on in this house stays in this house. No, it's coming out of this house, because I'm going to be the one to tell it all. I like to let people know who related to, and I don't go around telling people business, but I just let them know who we're kin to. Because this one guy I dated, we was together 5 years, and I found out we distant cousins. Yes. And then they made me skeptical another thing about dating, because I have one guy wanted to date me. He asked me, how you feel about dating? I said, we can see. Then I said, whoa, before we go any further, we got to take a DNA test, because I'm skeptical. I'm really skeptical, because there's so many, you know, a person think, you know, like, I'm going to say this. Just say, for instance, if you was married to my cousin, and y'all had kids together, and I start dating your cousin, and we end up having kids, our children would be double related. And double relation be causing a lot of mental illness as well. And there are a lot of people, men, that have kids by the same woman. This child know who their dad is, and that child don't know who their dad is. These children are brothers and cousins. You need to stop. And it's not so much as everything that the men do. It's a lot of things that the women do as well. They don't want to tell the stuff. You need to tell the truth, who you kin to. And I like to tell my kids, and one thing, I've been through so much and I did them, wrong, did a lot of things and stuff. I tell all my children everything. And if don't nobody want to listen, oh, well, I did my part. But one thing I tell them, I haven't been the best mom to you, but if I did anything wrong to you, I ask my children to forgive me. And I tell my children that I love them.
Yes.
I think what's important to them is that you take accountability.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I mean, you just don't know how many parents, when you tell them something, it is not saying that you were a bad person or a bad mom. It's just that this is what happened to me in my childhood with you, and it's like there's so much denial there, and it's very hurtful.
Yeah.
And you know what? Hurt people
hurt people. They do.
They hurt people. And I've always been told that God was going to use me to break the generational curse off my family. And I do it.
You're doing it.
And
You're
I'm
doing
doing
it.
it.
You're
Yes,
doing it
I
right
tell
now.
everybody who relate to. I find out there's so many celebrities in my families. I mean, ancestry tree really works. It
Okay.
tells a lot of stuff.
I was thinking about trying it. Never tried it yet, but
You
get up on
should.
there.
You
Yeah.
should. And you should, because it's important. And I'm still looking for all my brothers and sisters. I really am.
yeah.
Wow, yeah, because it's important to know who your family is. I started to learn that, like, with myself and my family. So I think it's very important.
Yes.
Very important, because you learn a lot about yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
If you're confused about something, like, why am I like, and then you find out like about someone in your family, and you find out who they are, you're like, oh my God, you kind of feel like you found a missing piece to the puzzle.
And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Like, when my mom was in a nursing home, there was a patient wheeling down the hall in a wheelchair. He said, where you from? What side of town you from? And I told him. He pointed at my mom's room. He said, that's my cousin down there. I said, wait a minute, what? His son used to be my drug dealer back in the day.
Wow.
And then he told me, he said, we can't he told me 2 other family members we were related to. I'm like, huh? I grew up around them.
And didn't even
And
know.
didn't even know we was
Yeah.
related. Sometimes the older people, the parents be having issues with each other, and they don't want to tell
Yeah.
people who they kin to.
Yeah.
I don't care what issue or what their issue is with me or what mine is with them. It don't have nothing to do with everybody else. At least tell people who you're related to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because family is important.
It
That's
is.
like, yeah, well, we're gonna take a break because we got some more stuff to talk about.
Brand new day. Wake up every morning and say it's a brand new day. Take a good day, make it great, okay? 'Cause if you got some lemons, make
So we're back, and we need to get back into the rest of these books. So what's this other book is about?
Ain't no future in the back.
Can't turn around. Keep moving forward.
Yes. So it's talking about how everybody else seem like they doing good and they married and you're not. And it seemed like everybody else got it all together, but you don't. And the reason why you don't, because you still got hurt, pain from your past. You got to let that past go and move forward, because ain't no future in the back.
I like
So,
that.
I like that. Yeah.
And my slogan for my outreach ministry is, there's no excuse not to move forward, because God's got my back.
Yeah.
Mm,
That's right.
I like that. Ooh.
Yeah.
And then you do a lot of speaking engagements too, right?
Yes, I do a lot of speaking engagements. I do it outside of churches. I go in and out of drug rehab centers, homeless shelters. I go to the youth, speak with at transitional homes, and I go everywhere. Nursing home events, homeless. I mean, I'm out there.
Yeah. That's
You're really working in the community. I was speaking to somebody earlier about that. Like, we talk about, and we hear things like, oh, well, one person can't change the world, but why not start with that one person?
That's right. That's right.
Because
That's
if
where
you're
it
helping
starts.
someone, that person
Yeah.
can help the next person.
That's
that
right.
person, like, we have to, it doesn't matter what someone else is or is not doing. Do your part.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
all you can do. Is your part.
And even like when I do stage plays and I have my book signings, I always have a career table set up, because I host job fairs for people without criminal backgrounds and youth extravaganzas for troubled teens. Because for one, it may not be the person that's coming to the book signing. They may have a family member. You never know who's going through what. A lot of people don't like to talk to people about stuff because they know they've been judged a lot. You know, a lot of people don't even like telling pastors all their business because the pastors will get up behind the pulpit and go to telling their business and then be shaking, looking at them, shaking their head and stuff, talking about the Lord told me this. You telling the Lord told me this lie.
He didn't tell you to tell everybody in the church?
That's right. That's right. I mean, so, you know, and everybody needs somebody, you know, and I hate to hear people say they out there in the streets, they homeless. You don't know what caused a person to be homeless.
Right.
You don't never know what causes a person to be homeless. There are a lot of people that went through things in their homes, and they rather be out there in the streets than to be
in that home.
In that home.
Yeah.
There has been a lot of molestation and stuff in halfway houses and nursing homes, a lot of places, families, everything. And some people will come way from New York City or somewhere to get to go a new place and see new faces. You know, there's a lot that's going on.
Yeah, especially with this time. I mean, some people can't even afford homes. There's people with full-time jobs that live in tents.
Right.
Yes.
And so they have no choice. They have maybe no family, or even if they do have family, the family won't let them stay with them.
That's right.
So you never know what anyone's going through.
Yes, and when I say I was homeless, I was a homeowner and homeless. When my brother got murdered behind weed papers, he left me a bunch of money. I couldn't get the money until I turned 18. When I turned 18, I was already out there in the streets wild. So I had got a house so me and my mama could have somewhere to go stay, and she can come out there domestic violence marriage. And next thing I know, when I got off of drugs, I wanted to have baby not on drugs no more. So me and my mom got into an altercation because she wanted me to get an abortion. I didn't want to get no abortion. So the police came and kicked me and my kids out of my house, and I had to go stay in a homeless shelter. I stayed in that shelter for 1 week. And after that week was up, the homeless people kicked me and my kids out. And so then next thing you know, I ended up going to stay in a dope house for a week. After that week was up, they kicked me out. My mom let me and my kids come back there and stay, and I ended up getting Section 8 and going on about my business.
So when you was in the dope house, did it trigger any?
No,
That's good.
it didn't.
That's good.
Strong. When you say you done, you was done.
Yes, I'm done. And this year, I just became, December made 15 years I've been clean from cigarettes. And like me,
Oh, you stopped smoking
yes,
too? Okay.
yes. And it was harder for me to quit smoking cigarettes than it was for me to quit smoking drugs.
Cigarettes is real addictive.
Yes, it really is. And you know, like, if a person around me and they smoke, I be like, them your choices, not mine. It can only trigger you if you allow it to trigger you.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's true.
I used to smoke once upon a time. I don't think I was a real smoker because I just
I can't see.
sold my cigarettes away.
No, that's all. That if you do, if I can picture you smoking, that's why I figure. Well, I picture you smoking the little sticks at the end. Like you would 1950s, 40s.
Oh,
the
yeah, that
roaring-
was back
the roaring
during
20s.
that time. Yeah, the roaring 20s. They had the.
Y'all know what? I gotta tell y'all something real funny. Me and my sister bring this up all the time. I remember back when I used to smoke cigarettes, and I used to always ask this guy, "Can I have a cigarette?" He used to always tell me, "You know you smoke, you know you bum. Save your money and buy you some." We still laugh off of that right to this day. It'd be just so funny. Yes.
That's funny. Cigarettes is expensive too. Buying people smoking packs a
Nowadays
day.
it is. I was like, cigarettes cost $7 to $8 a pack. I was like,
Dang.
who would be smoking cigarettes?
How much
paying
it
that
cost when
much?
you was smoking? When you was
Oh,
smoking?
when I was smoking, they was like 50 cents.
You said 50 cents?
Yes, that was a long
Honey,
time
was
ago.
that in the 20s?
Oh, Lord.
Got to grew up in the 1920s smoking cigarettes. Come on, 50 cents. Were you buying them a single or in a pack?
Not a pack.
Girl, we got caught up a little bit.
We did.
Went down a dark hole. But we back.
We're back.
We're back. And you are doing some great things out in the community. Let's get back to that. Because
Yeah.
I want to hear more about that. Because you do a lot of speaking. You said you go to... Have you spoken in prison before?
Yes, I have. I spoke in a youth prison, juvenile prison before.
Oh wow. Is there any places that you wouldn't speak, or you saying I'm open to all of it?
I'm open to all of it because Jesus wasn't inside the four walls; he was outside. You got to go outside to draw people in, and you never know who you can be an inspiration to.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us about your nonprofit. I want to know more about that.
Yes, my nonprofit, Hurt Broken Now Here Deliver Ministries. We host job fairs for people with I can't get it out. With and without criminal backgrounds, youth extravaganzas for troubled teens. We do nursing home outreach ministries. We go feed and clothe the homeless. We just do a lot of things in the community that's supportive. And also, I'm a notary as well.
See, girl, you got like nine.
That's
You do
what I'm
99
saying.
things. That's what I'm
She's
talking
a
about.
jack of all trades.
If I need
Yes.
anything, I can just come to you.
Yes, and I also network with other organizations. They help people that have criminal backgrounds. They help them get places to live and everything.
That's good.
And
yeah.
there are a lot of jobs out here. You know, one thing I learned is that selling drugs is worse than being addicted to drugs. Because a lot of people, they think that's the only way that they know how to go.
Yeah.
It's just that's the only life they know how to live. They have to learn how to put positive over the negative. And you know, and I like to encourage people into moving forward.
Yeah.
Move forward. You got better in your life. There's better for you. I'd rather see a person picking up cans in the middle of the street than to be out there hustling. Because ain't no love in no drugs. Ain't no love in selling it. Ain't no love in using it. None of this stuff.
Yeah, because a lot of people that do it, they get arrested for it, come out and do the same thing because they feel like there's nothing else they can do.
Yeah,
That's
and-
all they know. A lot of them been doing it since they were kids.
Yeah, and that's it. That's it. That's all they know. And it's time for it to stop, and it's positive. It's a lot of positive out here. And I like to see them do positive. And a lot of them, they feel like they can't get no jobs and all that stuff. That stress them out, and then they want to go back. They used to making $1,000 in an hour, you know, and all that. No, it's
Easy
you better
money.
than
They
that.
think it's easy money,
Yeah, I mean, if you
it's
can do
really
that, you
not.
can own a business. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. Like, if you have that hustle mindset, you can definitely get into business.
And the love of money is the root of all evil. Our money ain't good money.
So how do you get your speaking engagements? Do people reach out to you, contact you some kind of way?
Yeah, a lot of people reach out to me, or sometimes if God put it on my heart to reach out to different, just say like transitional homes or halfway drug rehab centers or something. I reach out to them and see if they need me to come speak. Hey, I just go for it. If it's in my heart to do it, I'm gonna do it.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's good.
You are doing so much for the community. I want to go
Thank you.
back to where you were saying you work at the hospital that you were admitted to, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So what do you do there?
Monitor people. You know, just suicide laced on drugs, behavioral.
Okay. Earlier you was telling us how your patients are, the people they give you are like one of the most kind of the difficult ones because of your personality.
Yeah, they love my personality. They do. They really do. They love it. I have a good time with them. I keep them laughing and, you know, and encourage them and all that. You know, even like I said, if I have to work on Sundays, it don't bother me if I work on Sundays because that's ministry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
That's
it
ministry.
That's
And I
good.
thank God that I'm not in a nursing home and all that stuff, you know, because it could have been me.
Yeah, especially when you come from that space, I feel like you kind of you have more of an understanding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
When you experience
and
something,
so
yeah.
you do have a little more grace for people like that. So it's
Yes.
easier for you to really get in there and like, you know, I know what's gonna make them laugh. I know what is gonna make them happy. So I like that.
And you got to really have a compassionate heart to do things. Because, like I said, some people may like, oh, they get on my nerve, they this, and that. Well, why you here then? If you in it for the money, you in it for the wrong thing. You got
Well, a
to
lot
have
of
a
people
good,
do jobs just for the money.
you got to have a really good compassionate heart to do what you do.
Yeah. There has to be like some purpose behind it. I feel like when you don't have a
Exactly.
purpose and you're just doing something, you're not gonna be happy in it.
Right.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I want you to tell everyone where they can find your books.
Okay. All my books are on Amazon and Kindle. And you can look up my name, Teresa Tarpley, on Amazon and Kindle, and you'll see all my books and you'll see all the reviews I have.
Ooh.
That's why I was going to
Yeah.
say, spell your last name.
My last name is T as in Tom, A-R-P as in play, L-E-Y.
Okay. And then if someone wants to book you for a speaking engagement, how will they be able to get in contact with
They
you?
can reach me on my email at minister.ttarpley@yahoo.com. They can reach out to me that way.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank
next
you.
time we didn't get into it, but I wanted to talk about your plays and stuff. You
Oh,
did turn
yeah,
one of the
no.
books into a play,
Yes,
and I totally just skipped over that.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
But that was
Heartbroken,
that
Now Healed and
Mhm.
Delivered. It was a stage play in 2018. I won the award, the Church Stars Award in Phoenix, Arizona for the best play of the year called I Am Beautiful stage play, and you can look at the trailer on YouTube.
Ooh, are you gonna bring that back?
Yeah,
bring it back.
yes, it's gonna come back. It's gonna
Okay.
And
come
you
back.
are writing a new book currently.
Yes,
aren't
I'm writing 2 more books. I'm writing a book called Secret Haters, and I'm writing a book
Haters.
called
Secret hater.
Singly
those.
Married.
you? Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, okay. I promise this time we're done. We're gonna have you come back so we can talk
She
some
has
more.
so much. that
I know. I told y'all
can
she got
share.
like 15 books and 99 jobs. Nah.
You got to keep positive side hustle.
Yes. See, she got
We
99.
appreciate you coming on and
Thank you
sharing
for having
with
me.
us.
Thank
We
you.
would
so
love for you to
much.
come back.
Exactly, because we got to get into all the other stuff. We have so much going on. It's gonna take longer than a 30-minute show.
Yes, it is.
We need to have you on for a whole month or something. All right.
We will see you next time, and thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day. Okay, okay. My whole life got them hand-me-downs, but what that meant was I had my family round. And sometimes I can't help but frown. Then I remember what I meant for. It's so simple, I just say.